Good morning and welcome back to the National Aquatic Centre for day 4 of the Irish Open Championships for 2022. We've got the heats here this morning, followed by the finals this evening, and what has been a brilliant 3 days of swimming thus far here in Dublin. 2 Irish senior records broken and 2 Irish junior records broken over the last 3 days, including Danielle Hill yesterday in the 100-metre freestyle, breaking that 55-second barrier, the first woman in Ireland to go and do so. Andrew Blair-White here, bringing you the action today alongside Nick Quinn, as I have done throughout the week. And really, last night with Danielle, Liam Custer breaking another Irish junior record, it was a fantastic evening's action and really puts us into a fantastic position for the following 2 days that we have still to come.
Yeah, definitely. Danielle and Liam were amazing last night, breaking both those Irish senior record for Danielle and the junior record in the 800 for Liam. It's fantastic first 3 days of racing, and I think today, looking at today's schedule, we're going to have some cracking races coming up as well. There's the men's 4x2 freestyle, which we had a representation in the Olympics, a relay, the first ever men's relay at the Olympics and the first relay in almost 50 years. So a lot of the guys who competed in Tokyo and who were a big part in getting that team to Tokyo are competing this morning in that 4x2, so that should be really exciting. And then Danielle's back in the water for the 100 back golf, which was the event she qualified for Tokyo last summer, so I'm sure she'll be looking to back up her already really strong performances with fast swimming this morning and this evening.
Yeah, very much so. We've got a great schedule of heats this morning. We've got the 200 IM for the women, which we're going to be starting off with, then the 200 free for the men, 100 back for the women, 100 back for the men, 200 butterfly for the women, 200 breaststroke for the men, and 800 freestyle for the women to finish off our morning. But we start off, as I say, with the 200 metre medley. And the first heat, just the 5 swimmers in it on this occasion. We've Schieffer Brady in lane 2. In 3 is Ellen Keane. In 4 is Darcy Walker. 5 Lucy O'Brien. And 6 is Nicole Turner. So some familiar faces on show here in our first race of the morning. What should be a really good Friday's action here. The evening session promises to be a fantastic one later on, with some pulsating finals, and with what we've seen thus far this week, you wouldn't be surprised to see a few more records go by the wayside. Yeah,
there's definitely a few records that I think are being under pressure for this evening and tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone can go under them.
As we have done throughout the week, we'll be handing over to Andrew Bree, who's down at poolside, for the commentary during all the races, as we start off with the first heat of the 200 IM.
Good morning, everyone. Day 4 here at the Irish Championships. So kicking off this morning's prelims, we have the women's 200 individual medley. We have 5 swimmers kicking off this first heat. Lane number 4 taking it out. Lane number 4 and 5 very close together, Darcy Walker and Lucy O'Brien. So Walker's entered in a 2:34, and so is O'Brien, so this should be a nice opening close race as we get into day 4 of the racing. Turning now, 31.93 for O'Brien. Walker just right behind on a 32.6. Ellen Keane coming through on a 35.5. Did I see Ellen Keane at 6 a.m. on the TV this morning? I think I did. And then Lisburn Shmoa Brady on a 46.19. So we have 4 prelim swims this morning for the women's 200 IM, and then we transition into what I think is going to be a very, very interesting event, the men's 2 free, and then the women's 100 back. We have the men's 100 back, we have the women's 2 fly, men's 2 breast, and then finishing off with the women's 800 free. But there we go, 110.9 at the 100 for O'Brien, 114.1 for Walker, and 120.93 for Keane. Brady coming up to about 5 meters out for the halfway mark for Brady. Lisburn swimmer. Nice breaststroke going on here. Nice head drive by O'Brien. Walker still there. Walker's definitely creeped up a little bit there, about half a body length. Nice breaststroke going on there. 5 meters out now, folks. 50 meters to go. Who's got it in the bag for the 50 free? Turning pretty much exactly the same, 57.87 to 58.08. So they'll want to have been pretty efficient in that breaststroke to bring it home in the freestyle. But as the tunes kick in, we're going to finish off now with 25 free, and they are neck and neck. Nice opening race. Getting the swimmers, coaches, officials, parents and swim fans all after it. So 2:28 now on the clock. Let's see, I don't think they'll be under 2:34, maybe just over. And it's O'Brien that takes it. 2:35.81 wins it. Walker's hit the wall, but it just hasn't registered yet. Michael Phelps style, 200 fly Beijing, remember that? That'll come up in a minute, we hope. Ellen Keane, fresh from the TV studio. She goes to 2:49, so there's the official one for Walker, 2:36.24. Keane on a 2:49.74. Turner's coming in now to finish her 200 IM campaign. She had a nice 50 last night. So Turner's entered in a 3:08.99. I think she's just going to be over that, maybe. I can't see the clock, but I'm going to guess 3:18 this morning. And then Brady, 15 meters from the wall now. She's just about to finish. So she was at 3:31. So I think we're going to be just over that as well. But solid effort, first race, nice race. All swimmers done. Second heat coming up. That's a nice time. That's just under her best as well, or just over her best, 3:31 to 37. Good job, swimmers.
Yeah, good start to the morning with Lucy O'Brien just getting the touch at 2:35.81 from Darcy Walker, 2:36.24. Ellen Keane, Nicole Turner and Sheafa Brady. And Lucy O'Brien from Limerick, 13 years of age, a good morning swim from her.
Yeah, it's a good swim. Start us off on day 4 of the meet. It's great to see Nicole and Ellen fresh off the Paralympics last summer competing in that, and they've both achieved the minimum qualification standard for the World Para Championships coming up this summer. So I think both of them are in heavy training right now, so they're both based in the NAC here, so I think they're even training between sessions and after sessions, and this racing is really just about processes and less about the time and more about executing how they want to execute their races in the summer. So they could have identified the first 100 or the middle 100, how they want to swim that in the summer, and really focusing on their stroke counts, stroke rates, making sure that they're right and forgetting about the time, because it's really hard to look at the time in season when you're in hard training. You almost have to put that to the side and just focus on the process, and then trust the time will be where you want it to be come the major championships.
Moves us nicely on to our second heat, which has Roisin Irene in 0, Isabel Kidney in 1, Beth Nolan in 2, Beth Gardner in 3, Ellie McCartney in 4, Naomi Trade in 5, Ciara Aiken in 6, Ava Jones in 7, Eva Bailey in 8, and Antonia Seck in 9. Ellie McCartney, the first of the seeded heats here. Entry time of 2:21.09, which is your third quickest entry time in this event. She's in lane 4. Naomi Trate not far off in lane 5 either, only a couple of seconds behind on entry times. Should be an interesting second heat. Plenty of these swimmers looking to better those entry times and to set themselves up for a crack at perhaps a junior final or a senior final later on this evening. So we'll move on to the second heat of the 200 metre IM.
All right, prelim number 2 in the water, fastest qualifier, Ellie McCartney. She's on a 2:21.09. Let's see if this morning swim. Remember, these swimmers have to be fast in the morning at international competitions, so it's good to get used to it at national competitions as well as those higher level ones later on in the year. 35 meters through at about 20 seconds now. It's McCartney and Naomi Trate. Look out for Gardner though in 3. Ciara Aiken's breaststroke pretty solid. Look out for her in lane number 6 on that third 50. Nothing between them though. 30.04 to 30.27. Coming in just over 31 seconds is Aiken on a 31.26. So it's Ards, Kilkenny and Ards now as we approach 75 meters. McCartney's looking really good. Been working on that backstroke. Nice steady head, good rotation. She's moved a good chunk of the way away from the field. And then look at her breaststroke coming up. She's a specialist in the breaststroke. Good to see these swimmers branch out and try a few different events as well. So McCartney now hits the wall. Nice turn. 106.82. Trait on a 108.85. And then Aiken on a 109.7. And then right behind her, Nolan. Beth Nolan's moved up nicely from Swilly Seals in lane number 2. So it's breaststroke time now, 125 meters in. McCartney, look at that glide, folks. That's what it's all about, distance per stroke. I'm also liking the 2 breaststrokes here in 5 and 6 as well. Trait and Aiken, powering through. And also 2 nice styles over in lanes 1 and 2. I believe that is another Sunday, 2 Sunday Well swimmers stacking them up in this race. That's Kidney and Nolan doing some good work with RC there at the club, but it's McCartney, 35 meters to go for her. No signs of slowing down, entered in a 2:21. Let's check the board. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. She can bring it home in about 17, 18 seconds. Sets her up nicely for later on. But remember, folks, we've got another 2 heats. We have another Grace Davison on a 2:20, and then Niamh Coyne on a Julia Knox on an 18, but it's McCartney, 2:21.91 takes this heat. Naomi Trait is second with a 2:25.2, and Aiken holds on for third, 2:26.5. Slightly pushed there by the Sunday Well swimmers out in lane 1 and 2. So that's our second heat. 2 more to go.
A very good swim from Ellie McCartney, 2:22.91 takes home the second heat, just outside of her entry time, but she looked in complete control there, and that was a really nice morning swim.
Yeah, that was a strong swim from Ellie this morning. Nice control on the fly leg, and then the back goal she started to take control in the race. She's a breaststroker, or predominantly a breaststroker. She qualified for the European Juniors, or made the consideration time for the European Juniors of the 100 breaststroke earlier on the meet, and she really efficient on that breaststroke leg. She was driving in, using her kick to drive into streamline and hold that glide, and really powered through the breaststroke and then onto the freestyle leg to finish it off well. She'll be looking to go faster than that this evening, and she'll have her eyes set on the European Junior consideration time for that 200 IM as well. So that should be exciting this evening against the rest of these girls who are to come up in this next heat, with Grace Davison, who had a brilliant 400 IM yesterday morning. She didn't swim the final because she had made the consideration time for the Youth Olympics in the heat, and she'd also made the consideration time for the European Juniors, so she decided not to swim the 400 IM and focus on the 100 freestyle last night. But this could be an exciting event for Grace in the 200 IM.
Yeah, very much so, and we've got in lane 0 Zofia Quigley, in 1 is Hannah McCabry, in 2 Heather Fain, Amelia Early is in 3, the aforementioned Grace Davison is in 4, Bethy Firth in 5, Hannah O'Shea in 6, Lauren Farr 7, Olivia Miskelly in 8, and Cara McCormack is far side in lane 9. Grace Davison with that entry time at 2:28.1. The 15-year-old from Ards, so impressive yesterday in the 400 IM heat. Is she going to be just as impressive this time round? Going to be interesting to see here in the third heat of the 200 IM.
All right, heat number 3 in the water. Grace Davison been flying all week. Let's see what she can do here. We got 2 centre lanes. Bethany Firth in 5. So Davison's entry time is a 2:20.81. Firth is on a 2:23. Amelia Uri from Bangor on a 2:26. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. They're all pretty strong butterflyers. Oh, pretty strong across the board. Butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. Here we go. First 50. What are we coming through? 30.88. Firth on a 31.0. Look at first backstroke though. Even from that straight up breakout, 3 strokes, and she's already slightly up. But Davison's not holding back either. Coming through now, 75. 25 a backstroke to go until we get into the breaststroke. We should see Davison move slightly up. Who else is in the mix? Uri's there. O'Shea is there. And then I think over in lane 0, another Ards swimmer, Sophia Quigley. So I don't know how they got all the Ards swimmers in one heat, but here we go. Turning now, 106.81 to 107.34. Quigley's moved up to third on a 109.2. Nothing between her and Lauren Farr on a 109.27. O'Shea's also there on a 9.7. But look at that. I knew it was going to happen. That catch and that kick and that glide, she's coming through now on about 126 at 125. This is where you make the difference. Holding that efficient stroke, 15 meters to go. Grace Davison now, powering ahead. So we'll catch this last 50-meter freestyle split. She's going to be turning in about a 147. 147.79. Here comes Davison now in the last leg. Look at the distance, folks. Look at that on that last 50 breast. 147.7 for her. Maximized it. Firth, 153.9. Uri moved up to third and strong after that breaststroke, 154.0. Let's see who can hold on. Davison bringing in the legs. She's wanting these qualifying times. I don't even know what the Junior European qualifying time is. I might look at their coaches. No, we're slightly off. Curtis is giving me the head shake. But it's Davison, lane 4, 2:20.69, just off her best. That'll do for the morning. Looks like it's going to be Firth for second on about a 2:28, 2:28.67. And then O'Shea comes through. What a nice battle between O'Shea and Amelia Uri on a 2:30, 2:31. Nice job, swimmers. One more heat to go, 2 IM.
A super swim from Grace Davison yet again in the morning, 2:26.9. She beats that entry time, and she's beaten that field very, very impressively.
Yeah, brilliant swim from Grace here this morning. She's getting into really good habits of racing hard in the mornings. Again, that's the same as the 400 IM yesterday. That's under the consideration standard for the European Youth Olympics and the European Junior standard. So for a 15-year-old from Ards, that's really, really good swimming. She's had a busy week of racing in lots of events. She really pulled away on that breaststroke leg from Bethany Firth. And she was in that 100 breaststroke.
Folks, just a quick update. That was a
really, really strong
Junior
from her.
European qualifying time for Grace Davison. Put your hands together. Good to get that out of the way in the morning. Well done, Grace.
Go under that 2:20 mark.
Yeah, very good swim from Grace Davison, as it was from Bethy Firth, and a big late flourish from Hannah McCaberty in lane 1 to get third. Very good swim from the 17-year-old from Lurgan. Moves us on nicely to our final heat of the 200 IM. Amy Noble in lane 0, Megan Jones in 1, Aoife Dorn is in 2, Niamh Coyne in 3, Julia Knox 4, Molly Main in 5, Lara McAvoy 6, Ellie Campbell 7, Rebecca Friel in 8, and Michelle O'Shea is in 9. Actually don't have a swimmer in lane 3 there. Niamh Coyne not going to take up this engagement. Julia Knox and Molly Main, the ones to watch in 4 and 5.
Final prelim heat now. Fastest in, Julia Knox. We seen her swim last night. Very impressive. Doing some good work this past while. So Knox has entered in at 2:18.62. So Davison 2:20. But it's one butterfly, as you can see, taking this one out. Molly Main not messing about. Could she be a 30 point on this first 50? Oh, even better, 29.34. So she's already smashed that first part of the race. Let's see how she settles into the backstroke. I think her backstroke is her least efficient stroke. I never like to use the word worst. So least efficient stroke. Knox is there. Look out for Knox on the breaststroke. Having a good swim over there in Portmarnock is Megan Jones. And then also in the mix, about 4th is Lara McAvoy from Aer Lingus. So it's breaststroke time coming up in this IM. She turns on a 1:04.45. That's pretty slick. So remember, she's entered on a, where's it at? 2:22.1. She's going to smash that, I think, folks. I think she could be sub 2:20 here. Long, powerful breaststroke once again, coming through nicely. Knox has made a little bit more distance now on McAvoy. We have Jones over there still in the mix, so it's McAvoy and Jones fighting for third on this final prelim. But no doubt about who's taking this one out. Molly Main, lane number 5, representing Temple Ogue. Based with Hamilton Aquatics, so under the watchful eye of Ashley. And they're doing a good job too. 1:44 now for her, 1:49 second and 1:52 third. Nothing between third and fourth though. Jones still in the mix, just about by about a second. But let's check in on the board. It's 2:10 on the big clock, and she's about 7 meters from the wall, folks. This is going to be a very nice morning swim for Molly Main. Let's see what she hits the wall. 2:17.88. So she claims the fastest time of the morning by about 3 seconds. This is going to be a good final. Knox looking pretty cruisy there at the end. 2:25.1. She's got more to go. And then a nice battle for third. Who got it? Lara McAvoy sneaks in on a 2:29.39. I can't even see fourth. Where is it? 2:31.0. Nice finishing for all those 200 IM swimmers. So next race coming up. Let me check my sheet.
Yeah, Molly Main putting down a bit of a statement there in the final heat of the 200 IM. 2:17.88. Beating Julia Knox by 8 seconds there. A bit of a reversal of what we saw yesterday in the 400 IM heats.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It seems like a reversal of last night. It's played out in a similar way in that Molly was ahead in the fly, but on the back roll she took over. She kept pulling away from Julia this morning, and then carried that too in the breaststroke, and there was too much of an advantage coming into that freestyle leg. But I look for Julia to come back this evening representing Banbridge. She'll be looking to be back and improving on her time from this morning. But that should be a good final with Grace, Molly, and Julia, and some of the other girls tonight.
Now brings us on to the 200-meter freestyle, which is going to be a really, really interesting event. This, the men's 200-meter freestyle. All three of these heats seeded: Darren Morgan in 0, Cody Dunyan in 1, Conor Fitzgerald in 2, Evan Bailey in 3, Jordan Sloan in 4, Max McCusker in 5, Aidan Cook in 6, Finn O'Neill in 7, and Ronan Fahey in 8. And actually, Max McCusker is not there in lane 5. So lane 5 empty. Sloan in 4, the one to catch.
Okay, heat 1 in the water. Jordan Sloan, representing the National Centre in Ulster, based out of the Aurora Aquatic Centre. New coach, Kevin Williamson, doing a great job. Here we go, first 50. Sloan turns in a 25.60. So Sloan, this is his specialty. He had a great 100 freestyle, almost broke that 50. But he's looking really controlled in that black cap now, coming through 75 meters in about 37 seconds or so, I'd say. The rest of the guys, who's up there with him? We've got Evan Bailey, the youngster, in 3. Look out for him. Maybe not in Paris. You never know, though. But look out for him. Definitely LA 2028 for Bailey if he keeps the head on. 53.48 for Sloan. 56.1 for Bailey. And then Splash World swimmer Conor Fitzgerald on a 56.1. So we don't want too much of a gap between the first 100 and try and keep those last 3 50s as even as possible. He's going to be around 2:21 here at the feet. 2:21.98 to the feet for Sloan. Looking really controlled. I think he'll be happy with this morning swim. He's looking strong though. Look at that kick at the back. He's turned on the engine. It's like out the back of a speedboat. You want Jordan all the way home, destroying the rest of the field. Bailey's also picked it up. Sloan's got about 10 meters to go. 1:45 on the clock. He's just going to be over 1:50. Might be just under. Ooh, 1:50.23. Nice morning swim, Jordan. Lane number 3 comes home in a 1:54.7. And then Fitzgerald rounds out the top 3 in a 1:57.04.
A very strong morning swim. Jordan Sloan, 1:50.23. Beats Evan Bailey and Conor Fitzgerald. Always in control there. Class showing from Jordan Sloan in lane 4.
Yeah, it was a good strong swim from Jordan this morning, 1:50.23. Jordan was a key member of that European 4x2 Irish senior record-breaking team that ultimately ended up qualifying the relay for the Tokyo Olympics. So Jordan will be looking to hopefully swim on those relays again this summer, where that's Commonwealth Games and the European Championships. So that was a strong performance from him, taking that race out hard from the start, and he'll be looking to go under that 1:50 tonight. And then Evan Bailey and Conor Fitzgerald in second and third of the junior swimmers. What an opportunity for them to swim alongside someone like Jordan in the heats.
Quickly on to our second heat. Michael Keogh in 0, Finlay Wright in 1, Matthew Walsh Hussey is 2, Danny Morgan in 3, Finn McGeever in 4, Nathan Whiffen in 5, Jack Fleming in 6, Ben Riddle in 7, and Gene Smith far side in lane 8. Nobody in lane 9 for this heat. Got Finn McGeever here. Entry time of 1:48.13. Nathan Whiffen in 5 beside him.
All right, we are very fortunate to be watching some of these swimmers now. We've got a couple of Olympians coming up. We have Finn McGeever in lane 4, was on the 4x2 in Tokyo representing Ireland. Look out for Whiffen though, he's got a little bit of speed. Don't think he was too happy with his 800 last night, but it was a good swim. Wasn't too far off his best. McGeever though taking it out, had the chance to chat with him and his mum last night at the hotel, so he's pretty happy. We were discussing Olympic tattoos. Coming through now, he's out first, 26-0, 26-4 for Morgan. All pretty stacked up here now as we approach this halfway mark. Let's see what we're going to do. So these guys need to be out 54, 55 for any impact so they can bring it home. Turning now in a 54-51. Morgan is in the mix, I like that. Very close behind him on a 54-7. And then we branch out to Walsh Hussey on a 55-39. That's your action now. Is Whiffen going to make a little bit of a comeback? He might. He's sitting in 4th right now, with Jack Fleming from Lisburn right beside him in 6th. Having a good race there for 4th. But half a body length up, it's the Olympian, McGeever, turns in a 1:23.27. So not as fast as Sloan right now, but still looking very good. Originally a butterfly specialist, so good to see the variety. Butterfly freestyle combos. Here we go, so it's McGeever coming through. 15 meters to go. Looks like he's picking it up. As you can see, he didn't have that big super kick as Sloan brought in, but it's all there anyway. And he's looking pretty smooth. Here we go, 1:52.28 for McGeever. Morgan's in next on a 54-7. 56.24 for Walsh Hussey. And then Fleming holds on for a 1:56.35. That is your top 4. We got a nice one coming up next.
A comfortable morning swim for Finn McGeever, 1:52.28. Strong swim, and more to come this evening, you'd think.
Yeah, the action doesn't stop. Going from Jordan to Finn, both key members of that 4x2 team that qualified, and then Finn represented Ireland at the Tokyo Olympics in that 4x2 relay. So great to see him getting in and having a go at that 200 freestyle this morning. So strong performance, and we've seen a lot of him swim and fly this week in the 100 and 200 fly. So we were speaking to him, and he's added back in some fly into his training program. So it's good to see him having a bit of diversity in his program. But this 200 free final tonight is going to be really fast, especially with one heat to go.
Yeah, very much so. And this third heat is going to be a good one. Ollie Brennan in 0, Conor Johnson, Thomas Leggett, Liam Custer, Jack McMillan, Robert Powell, Adam Colgan, Charlie Cassidy, Dennis O'Brien and Daniel Harvey. So a few medalists from already this week in the Irish Open here in the final heat of the 200 free.
All right, look who's back in town, Jack McMillan. Here we go, cruise control already. Look at him go, possibly the fastest but slowest stroke rate ever. So he's in 4, he's the fastest qualifier. He's entered in 1:46.66. Next to him we have Robbie Powell, he won the 400. These guys both the same age, he's on a 1:48. And then we have Liam Custer, who will also be in the mix, but watch out for McMillan. He's definitely turned on cruise control from the first 50, and he will be able to just smash out that second 100 if he wants to. Beautiful feel for the water. Also originating from the Bangor Club, trains abroad at the minute. So here we go, coming through nicely. So it is Robbie Powell, he set the standard. Look out for Liam Custer though in lane number 3. And then we have our Lisburn swimmer Adam Colgan throwing down as well in lane number 6. So we're turning now. 54.46. McMillan on a 55.6. And then Custer on a 55.69. So again, I think these guys are just doing enough to get into those center lanes for tonight. Not much effort. Let's see if McMillan's going to pull it back. He may bring in the legs, or he might just keep them for later on. But it is lane number 5, Robbie Powell. Here we go, last 50. He turns in a 1:24.18. McMillan 1:25.2. And then Custer now making a move. Liam Custer, he's had a good meet. He's going to squeeze McMillan back. No one's catching Powell though, unless they all go straight arm freestyle. Liam Custer might come through. I don't think it's enough. Robbie Powell breathing to his right, bringing it home. He's going to be about a 153, 154. Yeah, 154.1. We'll take that. Why not? 154.6 for Custer, and McMillan cruising through on a 155.87. Big final tonight.
And it goes the way of Robbie Powell, the final heat. A very good swim from Robbie Powell as well. 154.13. Liam Custer, another good swim from him in second. Jack McMillan in third at 155.87. Nearly 10 seconds off his PB though, Jack McMillan, and you'd sense there's still plenty to come.
Yeah, I think Jack he's just after flying in. He's based in Stirling representing Bangor at this meet, but he's just after coming in for yesterday for this, so I think there's more to come from Jack this morning. He looked in control throughout that race, so we should see a drop from him this evening. But that was a really strong heat performance by Robbie, backing up his 400 freestyle win earlier on in the meet and putting him in a strong lane for the final of the 200 freestyle. And then Liam, fresh off his Irish junior record in the 800 freestyle last night. The 200's a much different beast than the 800 freestyle, but you could see his aerobic endurance on that back 50. He came back really strongly. He was the only person to be sub 30 in that last heat, so expect Liam to have a strong finish this evening, but he has the 1500 tomorrow, which I think is more of his focus than the 200, which is quite a short one for him.
It moves us nicely onto our next event, which is the 100 metre backstroke. The women, and our first of 4 heats here. We've got Laura Potts in lane 2, in 3 is Rosie Whitten, in 4 is Leisha Deasy, in 5 is Mia Mulholland, 6 is Nicola Brennan, and we are going without Shifa Brady in lane 7. Shifa was already involved this morning in the 200 metre IM, so she's not going to take part in this first heat of the 100 metre back. All of these very close on seed time, so wouldn't be a surprise to see all 5 swimmers involved in the business end of this first heat of the 100 metre backstroke, crescendoing towards Danielle Hill and Maria Godden in the 3rd and 4th heats of this event.
You can see there's an issue with the backstroke ledge in lane 2. They brought in the backstroke ledges a couple of years ago to allow backstroke swimmers to get more of a firm grip with their feet, because what happened before the ledges was you'd see people and sometimes they'd slip and they wouldn't get a proper start, so they brought in these backstroke ledges. But it's important that when the swimmers get in ready to race, that they test the ledge, make sure that it's in properly, otherwise it'll slip and they will slip down. So lane 2 just letting the officials know that her backstroke wedge wasn't set up properly, and they changed it out with lane 1, so we're ready to go now.
Okay, here we go. Heat 1 of 4, women's 100 metre backstroke. Let me just make a quick disclaimer there. I've been calling Kevin Anderson from the NCU up in Bangor. I'm getting that mixed up with Kevin Williamson, the great Irish distance freestyler, so apologies for that. So here we go. Leisha DC now, lane number 4. She's entered in a 109.74. The rest of the swimmers just over 110. Mulholland on a 110.8. And then Rosie Whitten from Swim Belfast on a 111. And it is Deasy taking it out easy, 34.20. Mulholland on a 34.79. And then we have Brennan on a 34.8. All pretty stacked now as we cruise through. 75 meters done in this 100 meter backstroke. So the tempos will increase now as we approach the flags. 15 to the flags, always a big part of every single race. But it's Mulholland now in that red cap representing Banbridge. She's going to come through. Will she be under 110? I don't think so. Slightly over 111. 111.47 takes the win for Maya. Second 112.3 for Deasy. And then Swim Belfast swimmer Rosie Whitten on a 113.1. 3 more heats coming up.
Yeah, the first heat goes to Mia Mulholland in lane 5 there from Banbridge, 111.47. DC in second, 112.32. Rosie Whitten, Laura Potts and Nicola Brennan. That's how they finished in the first of 4 heats. off the 100-metre back. It moves us on to the second heat, which is the first seeded heat. Isla Henry is in lane 0. Ramon Rogers is in 1. Naomh Púntny in 2. Cora Rooney in 3. Jenna McDougall in 4. Molly Nolte in 5. Beth Nolan in 6. Naomi Trait in 7. Roisin Reen in 8. And Antonia Seck over in 9. Jenna McDougall, third fastest seed time coming in to this 100-metre backstroke competition. She's in lane 4. And where you think the action will come from. It's her seed time of 1:01.88.
All right, this should be a nice one now. Look out for Rooney, McDougall and Nolte in the middle. They're all entered round, well, the UCD swimmer in lane number 4. She's entered on a 1:01. Then we branch out to 4s and 5s, but we should see some action now. She's picking up the pace, going through 25.14 lows. So in the yellow cap beside her, Swilly Seals, Donegal, Molly Nolte in 5, and then we have Enniskillen swimmer Cora Rooney. And she's in second, a strong second, but it's McDougall through, 30.64. So we should see about a 103, 104 if she can maintain. Under the watchful eye of Earl McCarthy out there at the strong university-based program, UCD. She's coming through now. Let's see what time, about 45, 46 point. Rooney's still there, but being pressured now just above her. Naomh Púntny from Ards having a nice swim. Good. Púntny's picking it up. Now, Púntny's going for this one. She might just sneak the second, stroke for stroke with Rooney. But it's McDougall wins at 104.71. Púntny gets in. Nice swim, 106.04 to Rooney's 106.33. So as we progress through the next 2 heats, we should see some action close to the 101s, 102s. Let's see what's coming up.
Yeah, Jenna McDougall getting the job done in that second heat, 104.71 from Naomh Púntny and Cora Rooney in second and third respectively. A pretty solid swim from the woman from UCD.
Yeah, it's a strong morning swim from Jenna. You could really see her utilising that 15 metres underwater off the start that she's allowed to use, maximising that, coming up, popping up, carrying the momentum and getting straight into her swimming. So strong swim from her, and really strong swimming as well from Naomh Púntny in lane 2 there. She really came through really strong on that second 50, so I'm sure she'll be pleased with that morning swim as we move through onto the second of the seeded heats.
And the second of the seeded heats, the third heat overall. And it has Maria Godden here in lane 4. One to look out for. Izzy McGrath in lane 0. Shannon Byrne 1. Leah Martin in 2. Neva Ahern in 3. Maria Godden in 4. Lottie Cullen in 5. Lauren Farr in 6. Grace Conroy in 7. Molly McAlorum in 8. And Zofia Quigley is in 9 on the far side from Ards. But it's Maria Godden, the 20-year-old, who boasts that second strongest seed time coming into this competition, just behind Danielle Hill, specialist in the backstroke. Godden. So it'll be interesting to see what she can provide from lane 4.
All right, here we go. Underwater's coming up. Very nicely done. Coming to spending about 6 seconds underwater there. That was a nice breakout from Lottie Cullen, Swim Belfast. Right beside her, fastest qualifier in this prelim is Maria Godden, representing Kilkenny. She's on a 101.8. Neva Ahern above hers on a 105, and then Cullen is entered on a 104. So they're taking it out now. Godden turns just over 30 seconds. 30.32 to the feet. Cullen through on a 31.1. Who else is in the mix? Molly McAlorum, nice job down there. Didn't even see lane 8 in the action. 32.43 for her. It's very stacked up. As you can see, Molly's just there at 75 meters. But 15 meters to go with the steadiest head and backstroke. Maria Godden coming through. She's entered in a 101. She's probably going to be about a 102 high. Hit that on a full stroke. 103 low, take that. 103.28. Cullen on a 104.47. And McAlorum holding on the backstroke from freestyle to backstroke. Nicely done. 107.59.
Yeah, Maria Godden in 103.28 takes out that third heat. Lottie Cullen in second from Swim Belfast, and a very good swim from Molly McAlorum over in lane 8 to get through for third in 107.58. But Maria Godden very steady there and a good morning time.
Yeah, it's a good morning swim. We saw Maria picking up a silver medal in the 200 back roll earlier in the meet, so she will have been looking forward to this 100 back, and that's a good solid time to put in the morning heats. And as you mentioned there, Molly McAlorum from one of the outside lanes going under her entry time, going 107.5 for that third place, was a strong swim there.
Moves us on to our final heat of the 100 metre backstroke for the women. Louisa Humphreys is in lane 0, Aoife Doran is in 1, Rebecca Lowe is in 2, Florence Tinsley is in 3, Danielle Hill is in 4, Rebecca Reid in 5, Bethy Firth in 6, Leah Bailey in 7, Heather Fain in 8, and Roisin Lawless is in 9. Danielle Hill, who currently holds the Irish senior record at 1:18, will be looking to potentially this evening break her own record as she did in the 100 metre freestyle last night. Whether it's possible or not, we'll have to make sure to stay tuned later on for the final. But it's the heats for now. She's in lane 4, Rebecca Reid in 5. They're off.
Okay, Danielle Hill fresh off that 54 freestyle 100 meters last night, spending roughly around the same time as Maria Godden underwater there, just over 6 seconds, coming through now in a 13.3. Hill's entered on a 59.49. So right beside her we have Rebecca Reid on a 103, and then Florence Tinsley from Ards entered in a 104. Turning now, 30.46, setting her up nicely probably for a return journey of 32 or 33 seconds. It will be enough to get one of those center lanes, looking very, very controlled. I'm liking the effort though in lane number 3. Tinsley looking pretty strong. Her training partner, Poutney, was just in that previous heat, took about a second and a bit off her time. But Florence Tinsley now coming through nicely for second, and then in third it's going to be Rebecca Reid from Ards. But no doubt about it, chilling out front, Danielle Hill, 103.34 with loads of energy to go. Tinsley on a 104.5, and then Reid rounding out your top 3 with a 105.09. That's your backstroke complete.
Yeah, Danielle Hill wins the final heat in 103.34, and it's been a hallmark of what we've seen throughout the week really, Nick, with Danielle, has been this kind of very fluent swimming in the morning with that sense that there's still another gear, another maybe 2 or 3 gears to go to.
Yeah, we definitely saw that yesterday in the 100 freestyle where she made a big drop from the heats to the finals, so she would have just been going through a race process there this morning. She looked in control right throughout. She never looked like she was swimming she was swimming within herself coming down that last 50 metres, and I definitely think there'll be more to come from her this evening. So she'll go back and look at the video, and she'll look at her splits, and she'll know where the time to be made is, and then come back this evening and try and address that.
That'll be a fantastic final this evening between herself, Maria Godden, Jenna McDougall. Also good swims there from Florence Tinsley and Rebecca Reid in that final heat. We got them through to a final as well. And it moves us on to the same event, but now the men's version, the 100 metre backstroke. 5 heats ahead of us here. Starting off for the first, just the 6 swimmers for the first, and it's Alexander Newman in 2, Liam O'Mathers in 3, Adrian Wong is in 4, Barry McClements is in 5, Killian Murphy in 6, and Ray O'Shea is in 7 for the first of 5 heats here. Very close between all 6 of these on seed times, barely a second between the lot of them. So it could be a close one. This could be a blanket finish start to the first heat of 5 here of the 100 metre backstroke.
All right, let's see what these gentlemen can do now. Opening heat, we have 5 prelims of the men's 100 backstroke. So not many times in the competition schedule we have the females and the male event back to back. But coming through now, lane number 3, Liam Mathers, Banbridge. So we got Bangor, we got Alexander Newman in 2, Mathers in 3, Wong in 4, McClemens in 5, Murphy 6, O'Shea 7. And it's going to be Mathers from Banbridge turning first, 31-31. Very nice. Second, 31.81, ESB swimmer, Ray O'Shea. And then we have a 31.98 for Adrian Wong from Trojan. And it's Wong now that's making a bit of an impact as we get through the 75 meters. He's picked up the tempo. The green Kappa Trojan looking pretty strong. He's moved about half a body length array away from the rest of the field. So Wong has entered in a 1:05.67 for the 16-year-old. He's going to hit the wall in a 1:05.82, just over his best time. O'Shea second on a 1:06.62, and then round out your top three, Liam Mathers. He led the first 50 on a 31, and now he's a 1:07.16. 4 more heats.
Adrian Wong takes out that first heat in 1:05.82. Ray O'Shea in the second in the 1:06 time. Very close, as we were to expect, between all 6 of them. And Adrian Wong with a good swim to go, sub 1:06.
Yeah, that was a tight race there between Adrian and Ray, and Limo was very tight between all of them. So it was a good heat for those guys, and they'll be looking to see if they can make it into one of the finals later on this evening.
Got our second heat now of 5 of the 100-meter backstroke. Fionn Byrne is in lane 0. Emmett Cousins is in 1. Dmitry Zykov in 2. Sean Donnellan in 3. Christopher Mason in 4. Jack McGann in 5. Noah Switzer in 6. David Poe in 7. Robert Mullen in 8. And Owen Rinn, the final swimmer, in lane 9. So should be another interesting one. The next 3 heats after this are the 3 seeded heats. Christopher Mason and Jack McGann with the quickest entry times of these, but again, very little between all of these. Nearly just over a second between all 10 of them. So it could be another tight one here in the second heat of the 100-meter back.
All right. Here we go, heat 2 now, heat 2. So fastest in Christopher Mason, 17-year-old, on a 1:04.52. Jack McCann, recognize that name, 1:04.64. He's in 5. And then the rest of the field are all pretty stacked, very similar, 4s and 5s all the way out to the corners. And I'm like, who's that over in lane 1? Emmett Cousins, is that New Ross? He's taking this one out. He'll be sub 30, just over actually, 30.54. No, he's 4th. Look how close that is, folks. You can't even see that with the human eye. 30.5 for McGann. He's taking it out. There he is. Lane number 4, Mason now off that wall's looking strong. McGann's dropped slightly back. And then we have Cousins coming through over there with the black cap in 1. From the angle I was at earlier, he was first to the wall, but it's very, very close. It is going to be Cousins, and it's going to be Mason. Cousins, Mason. But also, Donnellan coming through. Anyone's race, Cousin gets it. 1:03.73. Donnellan came through nicely on a 1:03.9. And then Mason finishes off with a 1:04.1. Very, very close, so even Mullen right behind him, 1/10 of a second. Nice job.
Yeah, great swim from Emmett Cousins, the 16-year-old from New Ross. He betters his seed time by well over a second there, and a little bit of a shock coming from lane 1. We've discussed it before in some of these heats. You're going to get maybe something from one of the wider lanes, and we've seen that on show today.
Yeah, when there's less than a second between all 10 swimmers in the heat, you really can get someone to come out of an outside lane like Emmett in lane 1 there, and really great swim by Sean as well. He really powered home that second 50. He had the fastest second 50 split of everybody, and you could just see him surging past people to get into that second place in that heat in the last 5-10 meters. So really strong swimming from Sean there, and Emmett.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen Sean Donnellan come home very fast this week. The 15-year-old from Glenalban moves us on to our third heat, which is the first of these seeded heats, and it's Ben Merrigan in 0, Ewan McLeod's in 1, Evan Coulter in 2, Luke Lonergan in 3, Callum Ashton in 4, John Short in 5, Matthew Walsh-Hussey 6, Adam Geddes 7, Adam Colgan 8, and Dara Rusk in 9. Luke Lonergan, Callum Ashton and John Short, all with seed times sub a minute. So you'd think that's where we're going to be seeing the action here in lanes 3, 4 and 5 respectively.
All right, here we go. This is heat number 3 now. So Callum Ashton fastest in. Let me pull out my sheet. So he's entered on a 50. We got a few sub 60 swimmers here. 2 of them UCD. Lonergan in lane number 3, Ashton in 4, John Short, the 15-year-old from Bluefin, and he's taking it out, the youngster. No fear for John Short. Here we go, 28.67. Lonergan's on a 29.4, and then we have Adam Geddes on a 29.59. But it's the 15-year-old. He's in a good old battle with the UCD man over in lane number 3. But John Short coming through. He, like I said, he is entered in a 59.23. He should be faster than that. Just about. 59.17, he does it. A little personal best for the morning swim, nice job. Luke Lonergan just over the minute on a 1:07, and then we have Callum Ashton, his teammate, on a 1:01.25. I think we got 2 more heats to go.
Yeah, massive swim from John Short, just 15 years of age from Bluefin. We've seen him throughout the week in all these backstroke events. Shaped very well, but a 59.17 swims is not to be sniffed at in the morning.
Going sub 60 in the morning is a really strong swim from John Short from Bluefin. He's a medalist in the 50 back, and you really saw him use his easy speed on that first 50. He pulled away from the 2 UCD guys, Luke and Callum, on that first 50, and then held that right the way through the second 50 to finish off that first of our seeded heats and our first swimmer sub 60. So we'll be looking to see if we have a few more guys go sub 60 in these next 2 heats to come.
Moving on to that 4th heat, Cormac Donnellan, Harry Winston, Rory Lee, Adam Barnes, Paddy Johnson, Charlie Cassidy, Daniel Mulholland, Bryden Byrne, Conor McMenamin and Michael Keogh with the 10 swimmers. On this occasion, Paddy Johnson by far the fastest seed time coming in here at 54.61. It'll be interesting to see whether he can put in as dominant a display as the times would suggest. Adam Barnes in 3, Charlie Cassidy in 5, also to look out for.
All right, second last heat in the water. Paddy Johnson, lane number 4. Charlie Cassidy in 5. Those are your fastest 2 in. Paddy Johnson on a 54. He's well stacked up against the rest of the field, as you see right now, coming through 35 in 17 seconds. It's Paddy Johnson representing the Ards Club. His teammate Adam Barnes should drop some serious time too. He's talking to the original coach and still involved with the Ards swim team, Nelson Lindsay. And he's looking forward to a nice career with Adam Barnes as well. Coming through now, 41 high seconds, but it's Paddy Johnson, Ards, 100 back, coming through nicely. Who's in 3rd? I think it's going to be lane number 7 here. That's Brendan Byrne from Bangor. Having a good swim also, but lane number 4, 56.78, nice morning swim for Johnson. Barnes through in a 58.53. Let me check his time. Yeah, that's a good second off his best. Nice work, Adam. And then in 3rd we have Brendan Byrne from Bangor on a 1:01.12. That's your top 3. We got 1 more heat to go.
A really strong swim from Paddy Johnson, 56.78 for this morning. Adam Barnes pushed him all the way in lane 3 at 58.53. The 2 of them well clear, both very good swims from the 2 men from Ards.
Great swims there from Paddy and Adam, both Ards swimmers. So Paddy really utilised, you could see fly specialist utilised that underwater, popped up at 15. He already had a half a body length of lead, and he just kind of held that throughout the rest of the race. It was a really strong swim as well from Adam, his Ards teammate. So I think both those guys will be happy with that, and we'll be looking forward to a final and hopefully dropping some more time in that final. I think that from his entry time, that was a big drop from Adam right there. So strong swimming all around. And now the final heat of this, Conor Ferguson in lane 4 will be looking at Commonwealth Games and European qualification, so really looking forward to watching him race. He raced 100 freestyle earlier on in the week, not his preferred event, so great for him now to 100 back his main one, see how he can do.
It should be fascinating to watch. Adam Mahon in 1, Senna Noonan in 2, Jericho Balgos. Or Senna Noonan in 1, Jericho Balgos in 2, Neddy Irwin in 3, Conor Ferguson in 4. Stephen Byrne won't be taking up this engagement in 5. Aaron Keating in 6, Brandon Biss in 7, Aidan Cook in 7, and Oisin Tibet in 9. So Stephen Byrne not going to be there in lane 5, otherwise all occupied. Conor Ferguson to stand out on the time figures. It'll be fascinating to see how he goes and how he shapes this morning, heading in towards that final this evening.
Okay, here we go now. Final heat of this men's 100 backstroke. No Stephen Byrne in lane number 5. Conor Ferguson, clear water all the way through. Look at him go. He's going to be coming through 35 meters, 16 seconds. Ferguson looking to do some damage this year. Commonwealth Games coming up. Nice turn, nice tempo. So it's Ferguson 26.64 to the feet. His best entry time on a 52.86. Is that right? I think that's right. But it's Ferguson now. 75 meters in, just under 40 seconds. Look at that stroke, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the hip turn, the shoulder turn, perfect head position. Lane number 7 looks like he's second. That's Brandon Biss from Swim Belfast. But it's Ferguson through 55.53 takes the win on this last prelim of the men's 100-meter backstroke. Nice job, Conor. Second under the minute is 59.95, Brandon Biss. And then rounding out your 3 is Nettie Irwin on a 101.39.
Yeah, another strong swim, this time from Conor Ferguson, 55.53. For a morning swim, looking forward to that final later on this evening. It's going to be a burn-up between himself and the likes of Paddy Johnson.
Yeah, both Northern Irish guys, Conor and Paddy, will be going at it this evening in that 100 back final. Conor is just so explosive off that start. He got so much height off that start, carried that momentum, really strong underwaters, popped up and held such a nice, strong, high rate to that first 50 and didn't let it drop any lower coming down that last 50, which is really what you're looking for in a 100 back goal. He got really nice head position and just beautiful technique there from Conor Ferguson, and he'll be looking to improve on that time now in this evening's final, which should be exciting.
Moves us on to the 200-meter butterfly for the women. We've just got the 2 heats of the 200-meter butterfly, and the first one has Lucy O'Brien in lane 1, Hannah McCabery is in 2, Pippa Mulhall in 3, Hannah O'Shea in 4, Alana Burns-Atkin in 5, Michaela Domingo is in 6, Hannah Malloy in 7, and Eva Hand is in 8. Should be a very interesting first heat of 2 here of the 200-meter women's butterfly. We'll then move on to the men's 200-meter breaststroke, and then we'll be bringing it home this morning with an 800-meter freestyle for the women to finish off.
Okay, new event now in the water. We have the women's 200-meter butterfly. Not an easy event. This is going to be good. So Hannah O'Shea. We've only got 2 heats of this, folks. That's how tough it is. Not many people showing up to do it. So they're looking for nice, when their head is under nice and low, hips up. Turning now, 31.36. Absolutely nothing between Burns, Atkin and O'Shea. Centre lanes, Dolphin and Banbridge. Pippa Mulhall from Trojan third on a 32.2. McCabery also on a 32. And then we branch out to a few 34s and 35s in this opening 200 butterfly. So eyes on. Yellow lanes in the middle. 15 meters to go to halfway. Always interesting to look at each swimmer and see what their breathing pattern is. Michael Phelps, the only stroke he didn't breathe was off the dive and off every wall. And then he breathed every stroke. Some people like that for the rhythm. All personal choice. 107.4 to 107.5. This has been close at the 50, close at the 100. Let's see how they end up at the 150. Mulhall still third, McCabery still fourth. 130 meters in now. Good old race here. O'Shea holding on for Dolphin. Be coming through this wall now in about a 145, 144. So 145.43 for Hannah O'Shea. Burns Atkin on a 145.6. She slightly improved her lead, But look at Burns-Atkin go now. 35 meters to go in this two fly. She's just taken over O'Shea. Not hanging about. I can hear Davy Wilson behind me. Who's in third? It's anyone's game. Could be the Trojan swimmer, Mulhall. Maybe. Who wants it though? But it's Burns-Atkin. She's entered in a 2:24.00. She's going to go 2:23. 2:22.88, stacking up those double numbers. O'Shea through on a 2:25.19. And will Mulhall, no, Mulhall just gets pipped out by Hannah McCabrey on a 2:29.86 to Mulhall's 2:30.53. That was a nice race. We got one more heat to go.
And the first heat goes to Alana Burns-Atkin in a time of 2:22.88, shaving over a second off her entry time. She'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, really strong swim. Hannah took that race out and led for 150 meters, but Alana had a brilliant last 50 there. She came back almost 2 seconds quicker than Hannah, and that's she just pulled away in that last 50. So really strong swim from Alana from Banbridge. And Hannah O'Shea is fresh out of the women's 200 IM earlier on in the meet, so doing a 200 IM and a 200 fly in the space of half an hour, 40 minutes is a tough ask. They're two very tough 200 meter races, so I'm sure Hannah was feeling that maybe on that last 50, but still a really strong swim from her, and she'll be back racing this evening, so looking forward to that.
Very much so, and again another very spirited finish from Hannah McCabrey near side in lane 2. Not the first time we've seen her do that thus far this week. So we move on to the second heat now of 2. Which has Beth Catney in lane 0, Anna McKernan in 1, Grace Coyle is in 2, Jessica Gannon in 3, Sharon Semchi is in 4, Andrea Cox in 5, Ruth Kelly in 6, Eva Bailey in 7, and Georgina Walker is in 8 on the far side here. The fastest qualifier coming in here, Sharon Semchi at sub 2:22. So we'll have our eyes on the clock to see what this is going to compare to Alana Burns-Atkin, who's just posted a 2:22 time. Moving on to the second and final heat of the 200 fly.
Heat 2 in the water, Sharon Semchi, Sunday's well swimmer. She's entered in a 2:21.59. Gannon on a 26. Andrea Cox from Lisburn on a 23. And then we branch out to Kelly on a 30. Coyle on a 31. See how all these swimmers get through. There's only 2 heats, this is the last one. Semchi, pretty strong. All right, triple digits, 29.99. Cox on a 31.7. Then we have 33.2 for McKiernan. And there's your 3. Oh, look at that line of butterflies right now as they approach 75. Semchi now 15 to go, and then Andrea Cox out there by herself. So Semchi's entered in a 2:21.59. Let's check in at the hundo. 1:06.28. She even brings it back in a maybe a 1:08.19. Still be a nice sub 2:20 swim if she can hold on. Cox on a 1:09.2. And then we have Ruth Kelly's come through from New Ross. Very close with her teammate Eva Bailey. They're on 1:11s. Out to Coyle on a 13. And then we're the outside lanes, Catney and Walker on a 1:18. Final turn now. Final turn for the Sunday's Wells swimmer. She's looking sub 2:21. Can you imagine the pain right now? Big breath here at this wall. Let's see how far she goes underwater. How many kicks? Probably 5 or 6. Oh, that's nice. Nice distance. Who's next? Cox has been caught up though. She has been caught up massively. There's going to be pressure on her from the New Ross swimmer. That's Ruth Kelly in lane 6 right beside her. 25 meters to go now for Sharon Semchi. And then the rest of the field all pretty stacked. So we got 1, 2, 3. Anyone's game for 4th. Coyle making a little bit of a move now. Picking up that tempo. The New Ross swimmer closest to me, that's Eva Bailey. She's tying up. Oh, I can only imagine the pain. Lane number 4, 2:23. So a little bit of work on that back end later. She might get under that PB of a 2:21. New Ross swimmer, lane number 6 coming through. Ruth Kelly on a 2:31. Who's going to get third? Oh, I think it's going to be lane number 1 over there. Anna McKiernan, 2:38.4. Coyle coming through, 40s. Eva Bailey on a 38. So a nice range of time. Walker on a 45. And that is your 200 fly complete. Now, not going to be biased. Probably the greatest event ever coming up next, men's 2 breast.
Yes, Sharon Zemchi, 2:23.24, well clear of Ruth Kelly and Andrea Cox in that.
Really strong swim from Sharon there. She led from the off and never looked like she was letting up at all. She got into a rhythm. Her 200 fly is so important. Rhythm is so important in establishing that early and holding on to it. She was breathing every 2 the whole way, so that's obviously what works for her, and she just got into that and was comfortable and strong right throughout that 200 fly. Those arms can feel very heavy on that last 50 of a 200 fly. It's a tough event, so she did really well to hold her form, hold her technique, and finish off that race well.
We move on to the 200-metre breaststroke. First of 4 heats, just the 3. On this occasion, Jake Logan in 3, Charlie Morris in 4, and Cian George in 5. A really hotly anticipated event, this. And starting off with the first.
All right, that was a very fast start. Here we go. So we have 3 swimmers, Jake Logan, Charlie Morris, and Cian George in the water. Let's see now what happens out. Lauren swimmer Charlie Morris has come on a good bit in this past couple of years. He's in the black cap, so he's fastest qualifier in a 2:41. Probably be around a 35 mid here at this wall if he hits it right. 35 just over, 36.12 for Morris. Jake Logan on a 36.9. Cian George on a 37.0. But it's Morris now, 15 meters off that last wall. He's looking pretty controlled, keeping that head down. It's all about distance per stroke. I've said it all week. Morris coming through now, 75 meters in about 54, 55 seconds. The other 2 guys aren't letting them go. So like I said, just before this race, 200 breaststroke. I know this one inside out. Charlie Morris now coming up. We should have an indication of what he's going to go. He's about a 16-17 point, 117.73 for Morris. George through on a 118, and then we have Logan on a 119. All right, let's see if that tempo picks up. I might get out my watch for this, check in with the old stroke rates. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, nice and low, 33s. Should be building that though up to the high 33s or high 30s as we come through the last part of the race now. About 6-7 meters out of the wall, we have Cian George from Hamilton. He's made a bit of a move and he's right on Morris's shoulder. Morris just spotted him there, even though these guys need to be turning, whipping that turn round, not looking around at all, but it's all good. There's turning up their race now. So the stroke rates have gone from mid-30s all the way up to over 40. That's how much energy they've got. And look at the style here from the Hamilton man. Oh, he's just moved away. Moved away by 2 body lengths. Morris tying up slightly, 2:35 on the big clock. Will he be sub 2:40? Maybe. 2:40.49 for George. Nice last 50. Morris comes through in a 44.5. And then Logan rounding out your prelim number 1 on the men's 2 breast with a 2:48.38.
Completes the first of 4 heats. We were musing just off mic there that it did look like one of them maybe went a little early, and it was Charlie Morris in lane 4. It's an awful one. You want to get that good start, but sometimes that is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that. It's it's tough, as you said. You want to get that really good reaction, that 0.5, 0.6 reaction that you see most of the guys when they're diving off the blocks. You want to get that reaction, but if you go that fraction early, it can be really tough, and he'll be getting out disappointed. A 200 breaststroke is a tough race. To swim it and then to get disqualified is hard to take, but it's a learning curve for a young swimmer like that. You have to wait, have to be ready and go on the gun and not go early. So a learning curve for him, but strong finish from Keane George, a really, really strong last 50. So put him in a good time there. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that swim as we move into the seeded heats now. So these are really exciting. I know personally I'm really looking forward to watching this.
Yeah, it'll be really good here. Oisin Cook, the one to look out for here in lane 4. But we've got Ewan Fain, Patrick Curley, Liam O'Connor, Matthew Hand, Cook, Nikita Vodernikov, Benji Cummings, Michael McNamara and Bryn Fitzpatrick being all of your men for the second heat of 4 of the 200 breaststroke.
All right, this is going to be nice. So Oisin Cook went 2:06 in December short course meters. Let's see what he can throw down in the big pool. Matthew Hand in 3, Vodernikov in 5. Pretty confident in getting that name right this time round. But it's Cook out front. Look at the distance as my eyes go back to the pool off the scoreboard. Ooh, looking really good. 29 out, no, 30 low. Okay, based on that already, I think we should see about a 2:12, which is nice for this morning. Up and at it, doing good work this past while. Look at that stroke. Poetry in motion, folks, coming through now. 75 meters in 46 seconds. Hand has now moved up nice into second, getting a little bit more height off his stroke, popping those hands forward, but it's Cook all the way through. So what do you think, Cook? You going to turn 103 high, 104 low? What have you got? 104.44, stacking up the triple digits. Nice. Hand coming through in a 1-0. Whoa, 110. Didn't look that far behind. So 110 for Hand. Vodernikov on a 111. And then we're moving out to 13s for O'Connor. So we got Green coming up next, and then we got Corby coming up next. Irish breaststroke looking good, but it's Cook all the way through. Can he go sub 140 here? He's got 7 seconds to hit the wall. He does go sub 140 with a 139.76. I'm definitely checking in on this stroke rate now. Hand is going to hit the wall second still, but it's Cook, 40 stroke rate. I'm picking up the pace walking beside him, looking really, really good. 25 to go for Cook. So what did I say at the start? 2:12? Yeah, it looks about right. Out in the 4, back in an 8. Look at that tempo. He knows how to switch gears. He knows how to do it. He's going to be maybe a 13-14, just slightly up. Cook finishes on a 15-24. So maybe tonight taking that first hundo out a little bit faster, but not bad for the young man. 2:06 short. And a 2:15 this morning. Matthew Hand coming through now on a 2:29.18, sub 2:30. Liam 5, 2:32.13 for the NAC man, Vodernikov. And then rounding out your top 4, Liam O'Connor on a 2:33. We have 2 more heats of 200 breaststroke coming up.
Yeah, very good swim from Oisin Cook, 2:15, 2:4. He was well out in front. Can sometimes be difficult in those situations to keep striving forward, but he'd be impressed with that for a morning swim.
Yeah, it can be tough when you're out on your own like that, swimming a really 200 breaststroke is such a tactical and technical race that swimming on your own can be quite tough. But I thought he was really impressed. What really impressed me about that swim there was he's really efficient through that first 100, but at the same time, when he was 2-3 strokes away from the wall, he was picking up his rate to make sure that every time he spot that wall on a full finish and was able to get around quickly into his turns, into his pull-outs and breakouts. So that was a really impressive aspect from Oisin. And then even though he was so efficient on that first 100, 150, he was able to pick up and maintain the integrity of his stroke on that last 50. So strong performance from Oisin in the heats, and he'll be back again this evening, seeing if he can go faster than that.
Very impressive from Oisin Cook. Leaves us on to our third heat. Michael Feenan in 0, Alfie Coogan in 1, Killian O'Sullivan 2, Shane Kelly in 3, Dara Green in 4, Morgan Berryman in 5, Paul Cox 6, Angus Cook in 7, and Ryan Yates in 8. of Dara Green, who's picked up silver medals in the 50 and 100 metre breaststroke already this week. Now trying his hand at the 200 metres, where he is the Irish senior record holder.
All right, here we go. Dara Green in the water now. His best is a 2:10. How's he gone? 2:09. I just know he broke my Irish senior record, 2:10.05. He's in lane 4. Kelly beside him in 3, and then Morgan Berryman branching out into the slightly higher distance. He had a good 50 and a good 100, trying out the 200, and he's actually taking Green on. I like it. Tempo's up there though. He has to be controlled and relaxed on that first 50, so he might pay for it, but we'll see. And these guys, once again, might just do enough to swim. I think once they, I know Green's pre-qualified for a few things this summer, but Berryman laying it down here. Didn't even look at the board on the split. Too busy looking at the swimmers, checking in on the rates. I'm definitely going to check Berryman's rate. That's not bad, 34.35. Very controlled. It looked a wee bit higher than that. Green is just maximizing that glide. Let's see if he back ends this, or as it's known in swimming, negative split. 107, so they're 3 seconds off Cook. This is a real chilled heat this morning. We got one more to go with Owen Corby, the winner of the 100. So we'll see if he can come through on a sub 2:15 to be fastest qualifier in. But it's Green now, Mr. DG coming through in 4. Still kind of mid-30 rates, very controlled. See what they split on this last 50. So Dara Green now takes the lead, 1:43.5, 4 seconds back on Cook. So based on that, these guys will just be under 2:20. Well, Green will be under 2:20. Berryman might be a 23 or a 24 at this stage, and the rest of the field are way back. Who else? We got Paul Cox turning there in a 1:15.199. But once again, Green is completely strategized this race, really chilled out. Berryman might have paid for that early start, but it's Green on a 2:18, 2:18.89 for Green. Berryman on a 22. 23.2, very close. And then the rest of the field coming through. Paul Cox will be over 2:30s, I think, with the UCD swimmer over there, O'Sullivan, coming through in 4th. So 2:33.2 for him, O'Sullivan 2:36. We have one more 200 meter breaststroke to go.
Completion of that second heat, or third heat should I say. Dara Green 2:18.89, overtaking Morgan Berryman there at 2:23.27. Probably not the start Dara would have wanted, but he's ended up kind of recovering quite well there.
Yeah, I think Dara was tactically decided he was going to be really long and really efficient on that first 100. His splits, he was a 36, 34, 35 for his second, third and fourth 50. So his processes this morning were to have a strong I'm guessing were to have a strong back end, but it's not an easy thing to do when you start off the race in the first 50 and the 100 and you settle into a really low rate. To then have the ability to pick up into a higher rate can be quite challenging. It's actually quite energy zapping, so for Dara to have that ability to change, he's such a powerful breaststroker that was a good solid heat swim, and we'll hopefully look to move it on this evening.
Yeah, final heat here. Cian Foley, Ben Cardwell, Ronan Kilcoyne, Adam Wilson, Owen Corby, Andrew Feenan, Ali Ryan, Owen Walsh, Ryan McGinley and Zachary Black.
All right, final prelim, 2 breast in the water. We have the 100 meter winner, Owen Corby in 4. He's already slightly in front, but look out, there's going to be a nice race. His teammate there, Andrew Feenan, in 5. Then we have Adam Wilson in 3. Those are your first 3 as we approach 35 meters in this 2 breast. All looking pretty controlled. Corby, I think he's going to be about a 30-31 opening 50. Let's see. 31.00. Nice job on that. Very relaxed. Always different tactics. Every coach and every swimmer has to knuckle down and find out what's best for them. Can they take it out relaxed? Can they bring it home? Or do they take it out a little bit faster or work that middle 100? It's different for every single swimmer. But it's Corby. I'm just loving that extension, head drive, and length. So he's back on form. Not that he was off form, but all these top swimmers are very, it's not OCD, but they're perfectionists. They want everything to go right. 105.18 for Corby. Feenan's on a 106.4. Wilson coming through just over 110. And then we're branching out to a 13 for Walsh and a 13 for the Sligo man, Kilcoyne. But it's Corby now, all the way through. So remember, Cook was a 139 at this 50. Corby coming through. Let's see, he's got 5 seconds to do that. So he's probably going to be about a 139 high. 139.97, so he's still on pace. Now, remember, Cook started revving up his stroke. Let's see if Corby keeps the distance per stroke. Feenan's also looking good. They're very similar strokes. As you can see, the shoulder pop on the hand drive. John Sharanek doing a great job down in Limerick at the National Centre. But it's Corby coming through. Feenan second, and then we have Adam Wilson. We're going to be about maybe a 15-16 here for the young man. Corby hits the wall. 16. Oh. All right, that's not working. We'll get that. There he goes, 2:16.15. Scoreboard going a wee bit crazy. Then we've got Wilson coming through in third. He's on a 28. And then the rest of the guys are going to be mid-30s. 33, 34, 36. And then a couple over here. Hopefully all under 250, we're about to find out. 45, McGinley to finish. That is the men's 200-meter breaststroke complete. We have one more event coming up, folks. 800 meters freestyle for the females. Coming up next.
Yeah, 2:16.15 for Owen Corby. A solid swim. It does mean Oisin Cook's going to be the fastest qualifier from this morning's times at 2:15.24, but another very solid swim from Owen Corby. He's won the 50 metre, he's won the 100 metre, and he's got every chance now in the 200 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be looking to get in and race Dara and Oisin and Andrew in that final. All those guys, it is quite hard. 200 breaststroke is quite a hard event, especially when you're kind of out there on your own, doing your own thing. But that was a well executed race by Owen. I was watching his technique there. He's got a lovely catch at the front of the stroke. He keeps his head position nice and low until he's ready to get into that real power high elbow position and pull through. So really technically very good. And those two guys train both together at the National Centre in Limerick, Andrew and Owen, so well used to racing each other. That can be a little bit of a challenge as well, because whatever about Owen and Oisin and Dara knowing each other, Owen and Andrew train together day in, day out, makes it quite challenging. So a really exciting final ahead for sure in that.
Yeah, it'll be a fantastic one this evening, that 200 metre breaststroke final. Moves us on to our final race of this morning. We've only got one heat of the 800 metre freestyle for the women's. Got Laura Sardoy-Nagy in 1, Jessica Purcell in 2, Anna Nikashina in 3, Holly McInerney in 4, Amy Dawson in 5, Lily Shee in 6, and Niamh Kenny in 7. So we're going to start off here with the 800 metres, and just a few announcements going to be made over the tannoy here. So we're going to take you through the early stages of this 800 metres. Holly McInerney, the fastest seed time here at 9:48 in lane 4. And we saw yesterday with the men's 800 metre freestyle just how important, well, all aspects of the race are, but especially this first 100, 150 metres.
Yeah, definitely. The adrenaline as you're getting ready to get up and stand on the blocks and race, but you really have to control that energy on that first.
Okay, first of the 50, McInerney.
So even if you were to go out, even if you were thinking you were going out easy, it might be still too hard. You end up paying for that at the end of the race. So we pass over to Andrew on pool deck now.
Another easy name to pronounce there, and then number 3. I'm going to find Ann Burtis and get the lowdown on that name. Here we go now. So 800 meters freestyle. We got a good few lengths to go, folks. Settle back into your seats. Very, very close though for the top 4. Let's hope they maintain this little bit of a race pressure all the way through. We have a stack of 107s, 108s, and 9s, 8s and 7, 8s, and then out to 10s. All right, far wall now, 143s and 144s across the board, all the way from lane 2 to lane number 5. 4 swimmers in the mix. A little bit of a move now from the Portmarnock swimmer in lane number 3. She must know I'm having difficulty with that name, and now she's taking the lead. 50 meters to go. Nikishkina. I'm going to go with that. So here we go. She's going to hit the wall at the 200-meter mark. She turns in a 2:19.28. Nothing between second and third. 2:21 for Purcell. Amy Dawson on 2:21.6. Then we're moving out to a 2:23 for Sadri Dia Naji in lane 1. Kishkina still out front, 2:55.28. 3 seconds back, Purcell. Erlinga swimmer standing right beside Alan Turner right now. He said it's good. He said it's good. He gave me the official nod. So she's second. And then the Lisburn swimmer coming through, 275 meters. Amy Dawson, lane number 5. This could all switch up though. 300 in, 5 to go. Portmarnock out front, 3:31.4. A little bit of a gap closed there from lane 2. Jessica Purcell closed it a little bit. It was about 5-6 seconds back. Now she's about 4. Very nicely done. Lisburn not giving up though. Temple Logan the mix. And then of course the New Ross swim over in lane 1 also there. Then we drop back a little bit to lane 6 and 7. So they're out of the loop just slightly. That's Sheeny and Kenny. All right, 408 at that wall now as we approach. .412 out to 413 for Purcell and Dawson. I don't think anyone's going to catch the Portmarnock swimmer. Let's check her entry time. So the 16-year-old has entered in a 9:52, but it's actually McInerney is the fastest time. The 14-year-old's entered in a 9:48, but she's not really in the mix this morning. She's turning 5th at the minute on a 4:54, and the rest of them are sub or very close to sub 50. What's all right, thank you, Ashley. Topping up the results. Nikishkina out front, 5:22, still 4 seconds back. Purcell, 26. Dawson, 2 seconds behind her on a 28. And then 3 seconds back, we have our New Ross swimmer, Sadrodai Naji in lane number 1. All right, so where are we at now? Where are we at? Is this 600? No, this is 500. 500, 300 meters to go. That's 6 lengths of the big pool. Can Purcell close the gap? So Nikishkina over on the left side of her lane. Oh, she's moved back to the middle. The great story about Rebecca Adlington in her 800 at the Olympics. And when they watched her, she was swimming up the left and then back down the left. So she was almost doing circles in her lane. So it's always good to stay on that blue line. That's what it's there for. Stay on that blue line. But here we go, well out in front. I think she's extended that lead. She turns in a 36. Probably about a 41 for Purcell. 41.11. Lisburn swimmer Dawson on a 43. Then we have New Ross over there on a 47. Being hunted down by fastest qualifier, Maggot Ernie, on a 49. All right, 200 meters to go now. So the fastest 800 is going to go tonight. All right, so the fastest 800 is going to be thrown down tonight. We got Hodgins and Kane and Carroll and Farrell and Bentley and Frail, Cook and Kelly, Cochrane and McNamara. That's going to be a big 10 swimmer race tonight. I'm liking the legs coming through now a little bit for the Portmarnock swimmer. Bringing in a little bit of a kick, splash, splash, and then rest. But she knows what she's doing. She's got 3 lengths to go. Next time she's at that wall, she'll be on the home straight. So here we go. She's had a dominating swim. I don't think she's going to be caught. She's bringing in slightly more legs. Let's see how much energy she has for the last 125 meters. Jessica Purcell still in the mix, a solid second place in this first of 2 time finals. Frank Stevens on the bell over in lane 3. We could not do these competitions without all these volunteers, folks. All these officials and all these volunteers. An extremely important part of the organization. But all the way through now, no one is catching Nikishkina. Lane number 3 in that yellow Portmarnock cap. I think the Lisburn swimmer is going to be a solid 3rd. Amy Dawson. So a couple of these times I've noticed on the start sheets have been short course entries. I know Whiffin's 800 last night was an 8:03 entry, and that wasn't his best long course. So I think Ferguson was on a 52 in that one this morning. So just be aware, some of them might be slightly mixed up. 25 to go for Nikishkina. So she's about a 9:30 on the big clock right now. Let's see what she can bring it home in. She's entered in a 9:52. Look at Purcell go. But they're going to go on their 9:52. 9:42, 10 seconds. Thank you very much. Purcell comes through in a 9:45. That's a 9-second drop with her. Amy Dawson on a 9:50. That's just under her best too at a 9:51. That's a very impressive morning 800-meter swim for the ladies. Good job. We got 2 more swimmers to go as I scan the pool. And as these 2 finish, that is our day 4 prelims complete. Get back nice and early, get that good seat, because we got some serious racing coming up tonight. Look forward to seeing you all then.
That completes our action with Anna Nikishina taking out the 800-meter freestyle in 9:42.30. A very spirited swim from Jessica Purcell, just 14 years of age, from Aer Lingus. In a second, she came home very well, but Anna was always in control. She was in front all the way there.
Yeah, she was in control the whole way through that. A really good swim from Anna from Portmarnock. Faster than her seed time, so really strong performances. In fact, the top 4 girls there, Anna, Jessica, Amy and Laura, were all under their seed time, so that's strong performances for an 800-meter heat, which is a tough ask. So great performances all around and a great way to end this morning's swimming.
Yeah, very much so. It's been a fantastic morning of swimming and promises to be an even better evening of swimming as well, with the finals of these events coming up. Just to give you a brief overview of what we have coming up for you in our final session, we'll have the 200 IM female final. We will have the 200-meter freestyle men's final. We'll have the 100-meter backstroke final for both women's and men's. We then will have the female 200-meter butterfly final, the men's 200-meter breaststroke final, which should be a cracker, and followed it off last of all with the 800-meter freestyle for the women's, that second final heat. So that should be a really exciting evening ahead. What is, I suppose, it's probably remiss of me to ask you, because you're going to say the 200 metre breaststroke. Apart from the 200 metre breaststroke, what are you looking forward to this evening?
Apart from the 200 breaststroke, which I do think will be exciting, that men's 200 freestyle, it's a really, really strong event for us at the minute. Guys who represent us over in Tokyo, and also guys like Jordan who are part of that Irish senior record at European Championships. So that should be a really fast and furious 200 freestyle final for men. And of course, who can forget about Danielle Hill in the 100 backcross? She's in such flying form that I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do in that. So some exciting swimming to come for sure.
Yeah, it should be a cracking evening session ahead of us, with the racing starting at 5 o'clock here on the Swim Ireland YouTube channel. Make sure to join us before then, though, as we are releasing the results of the Swim Ireland draw before racing this evening. But from myself, Andrew, and from Nick, it's goodbye for now, and we'll see you back here just before 5 o'clock for a really exciting Day 4 finals heat.
Thanks guys, we'll see you this evening for some more fast swimming.